All right, morning, you guys. I'm going to go over your warm-up for math. So this video is just going over your warm-up. So I've already done some of them, and it wouldn't load the other video. So I'm just going to go back over it. So the first one you guys had was this one right here. So you had to work out all the answer choices. So I'm going to give you a second. Remember, you can pause the video if you need to. They want to know what sum was less than 1. So you needed to add all of them together, each of the answer choices, to figure it out. So your answer for number 1 for your warm-up side is A. And this is the work you should have shown. Okay. Then the next one was, remember, you guys can pause it if you need to write stuff down. But I'm going to keep going. So the next one was Sebastian added 2 2/3 and 3/5 and computed the sum of 5/8. Which sentence is true? So first, you needed to figure out what the sum of what he did was. So this is the sum that you should have gotten when you added 2/3 and 3/5 together. Okay, so then you needed to look at his answer choices. So Sebastian is correct because 2 + 3 = 5 and 3 + 5 = 8. Well, it looks like he added his denominators, and you're not supposed to do that. So A is not correct. So B, Sebastian is incorrect because 5/8 is less than 3/5. Is 5/8 less than 3/5? Well, let's test it out doing our butterfly method. So when you tested it out, 5/8 and 3/5, 5/8 is not less than 3/5. So B is not correct. And then Sebastian is incorrect because 5/8 is less than 2/3. Yes, 5/8 is less than 2/3. And then D, Sebastian is correct because the add-ins are simplified and the sum is 5/8. He's not correct at all because that's the answer, it's simplified. So the correct answer for number 2 is C. Okay, number 3. It said Skylar read a book for 2 1/4 hours and then spoke on the phone for 1.5 hours. How much time did Skylar spend reading and talking on the phone? Well, you added them together. You had a common denominator of 8. Your answer was 3 6/8. You needed to simplify it. So you divided both of them by 2 and would have got 3 3/4 hours, which is B. Then your next one, number 4, Ava made a rectangular drawing. The width of the drawing is 3.5 inches. The length is 1 7/8 inches longer than the width. What is the length of the drawing? Well, you needed to add 3 1/2 inches and 1 7/8 inches together. And this is the answer you should have gotten for that one. Right here, 5 3/8. Because the width is 3.5, then the length is 3.5 plus 1 7/8. So you needed to add that together. Your common denominator was 8, so this one you did not need to change. This one you multiplied by 4 and got 8. So you did the top, same thing. 1 times 4 is 4, and then added 4 plus 7 and got 11/8. Then you need to change it from an improper fraction to a mixed number. And that's already simplified. All right, number 5, you are finding the sum of 5/12 plus 3/5. So 5/12 plus 3/5. For this one, your common denominator, you multiplied 12 times 5 and got 60. And I wrote out my multiples of 12 here. Then you needed to, 12 times 5 is 60, so 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 12 is 60, 3 times 12 is 36, 61/60ths. So you took 61 and divided by 60 and got 1 remainder 1. So it was 1 and 1/60th, which is answer choice B. Then number 6, Brooke walked 1/4 miles from her home to the park. She walked 5/8 miles longer on the way home. How far did she walk in all? So you needed to add 3 fractions together. This is what she walked first to the park. Then she walked 5/8 miles longer on the way home. So she walked this length plus the 5/8. So you added 3 fractions together. You changed your common denominator to eighths. This was already to eighths, so you just needed to transfer it over. You needed to change these ones. So you had 1 and 2/8, 1 and 2/8 plus 5/8, and it gives you 2 and 9/8. 9/8 is improper, so you needed to change it from improper fraction to a mixed number, plus add your whole number that you had on there. So it ended up being 3 and 1/8 miles, which is D. Okay, so that's 1 through 6. This is just your warm-up. I'm not going over your homework yet because we're going to have to split the videos up. So now you have number 7. Which sum is greater than 1? So again, you needed to go through and add them together. So this is number 7. 1/2 plus 7/12. Your common denominator is going to be 12 because 12 is also a multiple of 2. So this one, you're just moving over. This one, 2 times 6 gives you 12. So you're going to do the same thing to the top. 1 times 6 is 6. Now you're going to add them. 6 plus 7 is 13. You have 13/12. It's an improper fraction. So you're going to take 13 and divide it by 12. 1 remainder 1. So your quotient is your whole number. So you have 1 and 1/12. The question is, what sum is greater than 1? Okay, so this is answer choice A. So far, A is greater than 1. Then you have answer choice B, 1/4 and 2/5. Your common denominator would be 20 because 5 times 4 is 20. 4 times 5 is 20. Same thing to the top. 1 times 5 is 5. 5 times 4 is 20. You're going to do the same thing to the top. 2 times 4 is 8. 5 plus 8 is 13/20. Is that greater than 1 whole? Nope. So your answer choice is not B. I'm going to do C right here because I have room. You have 3/8 and 1/4. Make sure your work is nice and neat. Okay, 8 is going to stay as your common denominator because 8 is a multiple of 4 also. So this one, you're just going to transfer over. This one here, 4 times 2 is 8, so do the same thing to the top. 1 times 2 is 2. So 3 plus 2 is 5, so 5/8. That's not greater than 1, so it's not C. So let's try answer choice D. 2/3, 1/10. Okay, so your common denominator would be 30. 3 times 10 is 30. 2 times 10 is 20. So you multiply this by 3 because 3 times 10 is 30. 1 times 3 is 3. 20 plus 3 is 23 thirtieths. And again, that's not greater than 1. So your answer is A. And that's for number 7. Okay, number 8. Actually, you know what? I'm going to divide this into 2 videos. So go to part 2 for me to do number 8.